Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Shirtless Plantain Show, the Arsenal edition. This is your host, Mitch. I am here with Coach. Hi, Coach. How are you?
Let it all work out. Let it all work out.
I'm sorry, Coach. I misintroduced you. For anyone that's watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see that Coach's name is actually Tozen. So, hi, Tozen. How are you? Lovely to have you here today. Here on the Arsenal edition. I know you're a big United guy, but it's great to get a balanced opinion here.
Piss off, man. Don't even start that shit today, honestly. How dare you on this wonderful day.
Also here with Gabby. Hi, Gabby. How are you?
Listen, I'm gassed.
As you should be. As you should be.
It's been almost a 10 of 10 day.
Yeah. And like almost just about as good as it could go, except for a few blemishes that we will of course talk about. But guys, it's been a minute. How are we feeling? It's a new season. Gabby and I were kiviored last week, and now we're back.
Yeah, I canceled a whole brunch to be here for this, and they were like, "Oh, we don't need you guys. It's fine." I said,
"Wait! You canceled brunch? You never canceled brunch."
I canceled brunch. I was like, they were like, "Oh yeah, do you want to go for brunch?" And I was like, "It's the first game of the season. I'm gonna have to record the pod."
Oh shit! I feel bad now.
I mean,
you don't. You degenerate.
I'm always planning for the time after an Arsenal game of like, okay, the hour and a half afterwards, like we're recording the pod, and then it's like, nope, kiviored. Like, okay, I guess I'm gonna do nothing because I didn't have plans that I canceled. So you can feel less bad about that.
That's pull from me and me more than Dean, to be honest. But yeah, that's why the group chat's there. So, but yeah, don't worry. We'll make it up to you one way or the other. I hope.
Well,
don't hold me to it.
Send me a kit. These kits are expensive.
Hold Dean to it. How about that? Hold Dean to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna make Dean buy me a white long sleeve kit.
Lovely.
He's the lawyer, so yeah.
Yeah, he's got the money for it. It's free Eze printing. We'll just throw that on there. Well, guys, we're back, and so are Arsenal. And let's start out with the news. Obviously, you guys have probably heard Dean and Coach talking for about 20-30 minutes when the news was first announced on the pod, but now we have professional microphones, unlike the shit that Dean was doing that day. So Gabby, I know the announcement video today got some real emotions out of you. How are you feeling about Eze officially being an Arsenal player?
I'm ecstatic. I can't lie to anyone. Obviously, I wasn't on the reaction pod that Dean and Coach put out, but like, I have been nonstop watching content about signing Eze for 2 days. Like, I can't lie. I've been watching everything that I could possibly get my hands on, like professional and non-professional. Like, the reactions from Tottenham fans have fed me for years to come. It's been hilarious. I'm ecstatic.
Yeah, you sent like a nice little 4-minute video in our group chat that I woke up to on Thursday, and it was just a nice way to wake up of just watching Spurs fans get rattled. It was lovely. Coach, how are you feeling with this news of Eze being an Arsenal player?
It means more, man. It genuinely means more. Like, I don't mean this in a memeable way. He's living our dream. Arsenal fan, especially for me personally, like. We had Iwobi was great. He was there from Haaland from the beginning, and he lived the dream for Arsenal kind of thing. But unfortunately, he left kind of thing. And with Eze, it's like the inverse of that. He was at Haaland, had to leave, and then he's got a homecoming. It's almost. I want to say better this way for him, maybe for the story. But I'm sure he would have loved to be at Arsenal his whole life. You know how much he loves Arsenal. Like, he, at every given opportunity we see in his interviews, he expresses how much he loves Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? So. It really is just it's a wonderful moment, and I'm pleased for him kind of thing, and it's representation as well. Like, all of us, especially in the areas that I grew up in, wanted to play for Arsenal. That's what we wanted to do, and Eze is quite literally living the dream. Like, he's completed and he gets the number 10. Like, he gets the number. Like, do you know how crazy that is? Like,
Fully deserved.
Yeah, Bergkamp and Ozil wore that shirt, and now a South Londoner with Nigerian heritage gets to wear that shirt, and he's like our marquee signing. Like, it is the perfect story. Genuinely, it's like I'm pleased for him, and it's gonna inspire even the kids in the dressing room as well. Like, literally, Waneri and Miles and Diamond, them kids, I'm thinking, wow, like this is all Haaland alumni now. So I'm just pleased for him, seriously.
Yeah, I mean, you take the Spurs aspect of this story out of
Oh,
it,
fuck, man.
of like you just take it out of it entirely, of like the fact that they were in for him and then we all of a sudden swooped. If we just bought him normally, it would have the same exact emotions because of like the story around it. Arsenal boy coming back to the club, and it's really cool that we've seen that both on the men's and women's side this year, with like Chloe Kelly becoming a permanent transfer and Taylor Hines coming back. Like it's so cool that the club like means so much to so many people,
Yeah.
and the fact that we're able to bring so much emotion by bringing back, because soccer's a tough business. It's no guarantee that you're going to be able to come back to a top club like Arsenal. So it's got to be just a dream come true for Eze, and to be able to come back, and what a reception that he was able to get today by just getting introduced in front of the entire Emirates before the match. Like that's got to be a highlight of your life kind of shit. Like just signing alone, getting all like the bells and whistles of like getting to tour the training ground and meeting your teammates and stuff. But like to just get introduced in front of the fans like 20 minutes after you were officially announced as a player, it doesn't get much cooler than that. It's really, really awesome.
I think,
Gabby,
I
how
think
mad are you about NBC not showing the whole thing?
For anyone who's listening to this and not watching it on YouTube, if you could see my face, like, let me not even go there. Anyway, I'm just glad that they actually had the reveal at the game, because I miss reveals like that. I know Pib is mad too. Like,
Yeah, you bit my face.
I miss reveals like that. I love when the player walks out and they get to revel in the crowd before we do any of the talking about where he's gonna play and how he's gonna play and who's coming out and all that nonsense. Just enjoy the fact that you got a good signing. Like, revel in the crowd before they start to like agitate about anything else.
Mitch, are you good with Pip? Yeah.
No, he's attacking me. I have a bad cat, you guys. I have a really bad cat. He's like sometimes just like the sweetest thing in the world, and then sometimes just like, you are not giving me attention, and I'm going to fucking bite you. And
Yeah,
he's
he
like
wants
currently under
violence.
the table, just like going at my legs. This is like sorry.
Blink twice
Coach,
if you need help.
Yes. Coach, how are the emotions for you being able to actually watch the whole thing on TV, see him presented?
I was
Coach?
on mute. Apologies.
Okay.
To be fair, I watched it initially on the live from M5 stream. That's why I watched it, and then again they showed it the whole thing again on TV. But I think it's really, I think it's a small detail that's been publicized now, that he called Arteta before he was supposed to go to Tottenham. And I think that is just, if you guys don't believe in God, I think this is a sign maybe you should, because he still had faith at the 11th hour that he had to go down to that shithole. Basically, he's like, nah, you know what? God's still got a bigger plan for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, if that's not faith, I don't know what is, because they're supposed to sign him, and he's called Arteta. Arteta's like, okay, we're going into a meeting kind of thing, and then before you know it, the deal is done. The deal is done. So I think that was probably my favorite part of the entire saga, like knowing that detail. And we've been hearing stuff for weeks on air that Arsenal had like made contact, they'd spoken to him, it's cool, like if you want him kind of thing. And then like the Madueke stuff happened, you know, by the way, Madueke was good today. And then we went silent. I was just like, there was nothing really happening. Apparently so kind of thing. So it's just like he remained calm, and he kept faith, and he got what he fully deserved, man. And on top of that, Crystal Palace as well, I've been nothing but class as well. Like all of the the media stuff, even the fans as well. Like it's a measure of what Eze is, and I'm just glad he's back home, man. Seriously.
Yeah, it's been lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those romantic transfers. It's the best. It's why you love the sport. All right. Anyway, let's move on. Contrary to our talk, the top of the show, Arsenal did play a game today, and a pretty damn good one. I would say a 5-0 win against Leeds United. We're gonna start here with the lineup. Pretty close to what we saw last week, except for Nani Madueke comes in for Gabriel Martinelli, and Jurrien Timber comes in for Ben White. So obviously one of the talking points with the Eze transfer was Havertz's health. It's a bummer that he missed out today. We still don't know the extent of his injury, which is odd and not encouraging. And Ben White was also out of the lineup. So we love the injury bug hitting us already. It's really, really cool. Have we heard anything about Ben White?
Don't know anything. I don't
From
know.
what I saw, I thought that Mikel was just being cautious with him, like he felt like a niggle or something.
Cool.
Because I don't actually know if he trained. Did he train?
I don't know.
I couldn't, so I didn't look at the training pictures this week.
Yeah, I think he talks about Ben White in the same way he talks about Timber, where he's saying they're trying to manage the load. And pause. That was the workload. And it's because they both played seasons back to back where the other one was injured and they had to play the whole season. So I get it. I like rest him when you have to rest him.
For sure. Coach, what did you make of Madueke getting his first Arsenal start?
Yeah, pleased for him, man. Like it's probably something that's gonna stick with me for a while because I'm a petty person. I find it hard to let disrespect go, but the way a quite a large, well, a vocal part of the fan base treated him when the link was initially made was genuinely disgusting. Like, it was so bad, and I hate the fact that they just get to enjoy him now. Like, they get to enjoy because he played well, so they get to enjoy. I think you don't deserve that. Like, you don't get to enjoy that. You know what I mean? So I'm really pleased for him, and I think he's gonna do so well. He's a sort of profile for me that you really see his value when games are stretched. Like, that's when you see the real value in it on both sides, on the right and left. So I can't wait because I see us, having a lot of games like today where we're 2 or 3 goals up, and he can start to stretch his legs later in the game. So yeah, pleased for him, man.
For sure.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like I was very I shouldn't say extremely vocal, but like I was vocal about how I did not want this signing.
Gabby actually made the petition that everyone signed about not
not.
wanting any Madueke.
Let's not do a disservice.
I did not.
She's a bit harsh. She's a bit harsh, but she's not a dickhead. Let's be she's a bit harsh, but she's not that. That's
I'm
horrible.
extremely harsh on signings from Chelsea. I gave all my love and attention to Kai Havertz. I didn't have any more love for any more Chelsea signings. I'm so sorry. But I've always been like adamant about the fact that I would be okay with us signing Madueke if it didn't mean that he was the only winger signing or the only attacking signing that we had on the left wing. That's what I was most worried about. And the fact that we have signed Eze, that makes it all the better. All the better. Because now it's just like everybody else who was not just disagreeing about the signing like me, but also like adamantly like spewing vitriol at him, like the hashtags and all the other stuff. That's, you're doing too much now. Like, let's take it down a little bit. I feel like once you get the other signings in, the Gyokeres, the Eze, all that other stuff, now he can just kind of vibe. Now he's part of the team. Now he's not, everything's on your shoulders. You're gonna be the one to fix the left-hand side, which he should never have been to begin with.
Yeah, for sure. And Coach touched on it. I loved what I saw from Nani Madueke today. I thought that he was like very, very direct, which I really love to see. I think there's question marks on like how he can perform on the left-hand side when he's a little bit stronger on the right. But I like seeing a guy who is on his stronger foot on that side of the field. I think it adds a different dimension. It's not both of our wingers are trying to cut in across the 18 every time they get the ball. It creates a little bit of like difference in our attack, which is the kind of shit that we need, the kind of shit that we needed to like be able to change up. We don't want to be predictable in the final third. So I loved what I saw from him today. There was even some moments where I love how vertical Arsenal is kind of become in these first few games. There was a couple of times where I saw Nani making a diagonal run across the top. He wasn't found. There wasn't a pass gone to him, but I love that he's making those kinds of runs, and we know that those are the kinds of runs Gyokeres is going to make, and then we know Saka can make. So there were some really, really encouraging things from Nani. I think like if he scored a goal today, it would have not been undeserved. It was a very, very good performance from him, and I really, really enjoyed that. The other player that came into the starting 11 was Jurrien Timber, who I think easy early call out for man of the match. Quite a performance.
Actually.
Yes, I think he got the official man of the match, but we don't follow that here at SPS. We break the mold. We're doing different things here. But
yeah, I was
Gabby,
ready to vote for Doman, so you know.
Coach, what did you make of Timber's performance? Mute again.
You're on mute.
Don't know why I keep saying that. Jurrien Timber is the most solid. Generally, in the world, I think he's the most solid right back. He's everything you can hope for in a modern fullback, but he's got a very old school feel to him. Like, but what's really interesting is that while we've known he could, when he was at Ajax, I knew he could play at right back, you know, and left back, but he barely played there, you know, and I think it's a mark of Arteta and the scouting team's talent ID that when you get a player, you have an idea for them, and it might not be the idea that what they're currently doing kind of thing, and it's all about adaptability. So if you look at, you know, a lot of Arteta's, you know, especially the major signings in defense and attack, these players aren't players that are stuck to one position. I think the one player that he's signed, ironically, that will not play anywhere else but the position is Gyokeres. Everyone else, they're, you know, they can fill other purposes kind of thing. And I think playing Timber right back is making use of all his gifts, but he gives still so much more. And I think I'm just really pleased more than anything that there isn't some sort of like, oh shit, if Timber's injured, we're fucked kind of thing. No, we still got Ben White there, you know. But the value of Timber is the fact that he after an ACL, he can still play like that. Do you know what I mean? That's the value in Timber. So yeah, really, really pleased for him, man.
Absolutely. One more note on the lineup before we get into the game. Gabriel Martinelli started at Old Trafford, did not even get into the game today. Are we reading into this at all, Gabby?
You know why? You know why you teed that up for me.
You know why I teed that up for you.
Listen, for the Martinelli people, it's not looking good, bruv. I don't know. We'll see. I feel like he'll probably don't get too excited about Max because he is not going to play this much throughout the whole season. Personally, that's my opinion. I also think that because Saka's injured now, and we don't know the extent, we're definitely going to see Martinelli on the left soon in the next few games, unless we get someone else. I am looking at you, Fofana.
This is the greed they talk about in the fucking Bible. We're
right,
not signing another player.
For once, I want to be greedy. For once. Can
I just say, like, you look at all of our signings this summer, and then you look at what we still have in the team already, Wanyeri and Darman having a combined age of, I don't know, 34, whatever, I don't know, yeah.
33. Exactly 33. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So I don't know, bringing in Fofana, who's what, 19, for Martinelli. I don't know if that's wise. We're trying to win. We're not trying to add more kids to the.
To be fair, I will say I think that Eze's going to play on the left. So yeah. I don't think he's going to play in midfield more than Martin Odegaard, unless he's injured.
But going back to the point I made about adaptability, like a lot of these players are going to fill multiple roles. Like Madueke started on the left and finished on the right kind of thing. I just think if we are, let's have a discussion about Martinelli, right? If we are going to get rid of him, technically, if Saka wasn't injured, right? If we got rid of him, we'd still have, you know, quite good depth. Being frank, we still have quite good depth. My whole thing is that if we want to be greedy, keeping Martinelli right now is the smartest thing to do, more than anything, because he could have a decent season and then we can actually sell him for, you know, 10, 20 more million than you know, we could have initially. I'm very much in the camp of get Martinelli closer to goal. Don't worry about the build-up stuff. Pretty much the same way I said about Havertz as well, and Havertz has flourished being our striker. Get those players in a position to finish off chances, and people won't even remember that you're not that good outside the box. And that's what it is. Martinelli, to me, has done his work out on the left. It hasn't worked out, but we all know what he's like closest to goal. So play to his strengths there. You know, and we've got enough providers now. We've got more than enough providers. You know, so that's my feeling about Martinelli. I don't know how you guys feel. So
I think, to be fair, I think most of us on this panel believe that Martinelli is a center forward. But the problem is that Arteta doesn't believe that he's a center forward because he does not want to play him there. He just does not. He's going to leave him out on that wing, and I just don't think you're going to get the most that you can out of that. I think that 15 goal a season, which I've said before, was an outlier now. Like, that was an anomaly. This is what you're going to get. The last season and the season before is what you're going to get from Martinelli now. And that's not enough. It's just not. So unless you're going to, like, give him stints at center forward, like, swap him out with Gyokeres sometimes because Kai is now injured and we don't know for how long. then what's the point?
Well, it makes sense now, especially because they both pretty much play in a similar way. They want to play on the shoulder. They want to run the channels kind of thing. I think it makes perfect sense. The providers are there, literally. The providers are literally there. Eze being there is huge. Madueke playing on his strong side is huge kind of thing. Like, there's more than enough providers at Arsenal now. So, yeah, that's my feeling on it, at least. So.
Before we move on, I'm going to ask you guys a question that you can only answer with one word.
Mhm.
Saudi Arabia comes in, offers 70 million euros for Martinelli. You take it, yes or no?
No.
Yes.
Gabby?
Yes, 100%.
Coach, it's no from you?
No.
Okay. Interesting. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. I've been no stranger about loving the player, and I want nothing more than for him to succeed at Arsenal. So we'll have to see what happens. We started this game pretty well. We didn't get our goal until the end of the first half. But Gabby, what did you think of the start of the game?
Can I just caveat with, just as we just said that, Malik Fofana just scored, because I'm watching that game in the background. What did I think of the start? Before we get to the start, let me just talk about the way that the atmosphere felt in Emirates. For once, it felt so good in the Emirates. Like, everybody was loud, everybody was happy, and obviously that has to do a lot with us signing Eze and presenting him. I felt like the players felt that when they came on. But we kind of like, I don't know if we had a slow start. I don't think we had a slow start, but I think when we settled into the game, we slowed down to our tempo, and in the tempo from which we had last season, not the tempo from 2 seasons ago when we were like zipping it around and doing whatever we want. And I felt that was weird, especially because I felt like we had our strongest 11 out there. Like, you can argue about Kai in our strongest 11, but for what we have available to us right now, that was our strongest 11. And I felt like that was weird that we weren't zipping the ball around. The chemistry is something that we have to work on. It just is. But I did like that we were going to the left side a lot. That was something that we were really pushing. We were on the left side a lot. Madueke and Calafiori had the ball a lot on that side. We saw the interchange between Zubimendi and Declan Rice. I wish we had seen a little bit more touches from Bukayo on the right hand side in the first half. But I honestly couldn't complain because I knew they were really trying to put emphasis on the left hand side and not get into the horseshoe of death that we always talk about. I kind of like the way we started. I didn't like the way we finished the half, but I like the way we started.
Yeah, I think you mentioned something interesting about the fact that I think we did feel a little bit more even in our attack. The left hand side had a big role in the first half, and that was really, really good to see. I think Calafiori just brings so much energy that it's almost infectious, and it's hard not to give him the ball. And then we've already talked about how Madueke looked really, really sharp today. You mentioned the energy in the Emirates, Coach, because the National Broadcasting Corporation hates me specifically. They didn't show the opening of the start of the game because they were showing some bullshit. So I heard that the Angel rendition is different this year, and you are a famous hater of North London Forever.
No, I love your stuff.
catch-
What would give you that
Oh,
idea?
okay, sorry. Did you catch that it was different?
No, because I fucking hate it, bro. It does
Okay.
sound the same to me. Honestly.
Well, I had heard that they were doing something different. I didn't get to see it because, again, fuck NBC. Well, we're not gonna talk about that now. I thought Odegaard looked pretty bright to start the game, particularly in the fact that he is taking shots from outside the box again. Coach, what did you make of that?
It's definitely an Odegaard thing, but I definitely think it's a coaching thing as well. We're looking to do more damage in areas that probably we haven't done properly in the last year, so when you get half a yard outside the box in the Premier League, that's all you need if you're a top Premier League player. So take the shot, just take the shot. This is what we talk about game breakers. I know Gabby's a huge fan of just people that can just lock their ankle and shit. And sometimes you don't even have to lock the ankle. Sometimes you can just hit the ball and it takes 50,000 deflections, like Frank Lampard's career, and you end up, scoring 170 plus goals, just doing shit like that. So just take the shot sometimes. And I think it's it's just more about us trying to be not predictable. So I'm really pleased. And Odegaard leading the charge doing that. Normally he's the carefully, softly approach guy to a certain extent, by the way, not all the time. But I think it's really good that he's the one doing it, because I feel like it gives more license and courage to others as well to just, to do it. If the captain is doing it, and, for example, someone like Declan Rice, to me, has a better shot than him, then Declan Rice should be taking these shots as well. Saka should feel more empowered to take these shots as well. So, yeah, man, it's great.
Yeah, it was nice to see him in the ozone again.
Yeah.
We almost had a classic 24-25 Arsenal start to this game because there was the first real chance that we had was finding Leeds out of possession. We hit the ball to Gyokeres, and he was just not ready for it, not balanced for it, rushes it, he didn't realize how much time he had, I don't think. Takes an extra touch and misses it. Leeds go down, get a corner, and Raya has to make a very big save. Gabby, I know that is literally your pet peeve, is if we had conceded there. How were you feeling in that moment?
They could never tell me anything about my keeper. I love David Raya. That was a fantastic, sensational save. Also, that man is a cat. Like, the way that he reacts to saves, is just absurd sometimes. That is my pet peeve. I don't want to do the one shot, one goal thing this season. Please dead that. Leave that in the years past. That's what I want.
Well, if we're going to take a positive from this, I believe this was Leeds' last amount of XG that they achieved the rest of the match. They had, from the 20th minute forward, 0.0 expected goals. That's pretty damn good, isn't it, Coach?
Yeah, man, I think this is Arteta's dream. He doesn't want the opposition to have anything. If he could, he'd take their lunch money as well. Like, that's that's how Arteta wants to govern these games. Yeah, I think we get a lot of stick from our fans about the amount of XG that we create, and I get it. I think we're going to see an upturn in it, not even just because of Eze, but I think everyone's just in better condition. He says as their two best players are injured, but also keeping the other team out is part of the game. Like, let's not discount that part. You have to keep I want to attack all the time, kind of thing, but it's the Premier League. Like, we have to respect these teams, not Burnley, obviously, and Tottenham, but
okay.
But you get what I mean? Like, you still have to do your job defensively, and if they're not getting anything, do you know what I mean? That 0.73 XG, you might get 2 goals out of it because you stopped them from even generating anything. So, obviously you want all games to end with 4 XG for you, but it's not always going to be like that, So, yeah.
All I took from that is that it seems like Coach respects Newcastle, and it's just Spurs and
How dare
Burnley.
You? How dare you?
He said he respects Jason Tyndall.
He says he loves Jason Tyndall? Is there something wrong with my AirPods? What's going on?
I'll leave right now. I don't
Fabian Hertzler. He's a fan.
He loves that haircut. He loves just the across the forehead. Well, you mentioned players getting hurt, and that's what put a dampen on this very wonderful day at the Emirates. We had a nice little tackle on Odegaard where he hurt his shoulder, and maybe this is just like dumbass, not a professional athlete think, but I was like, if you hurt your shoulder, you can play soccer. Come on. Gabby, what did you make of Odegaard's injury?
To be fair to Odegaard, he did try to play on. He didn't want to come off. But I think that Mikel he's teacher's pet. Like, that's his favorite player ever. So next to Kai Havertz. So he was not taking a chance with him, especially with Liverpool around the corner. But when he went down the first time, I was like, oh, it was just a hard fall. It was like awkward, he'll just run it off like after a while. And then he didn't, and I was like, no. Don't do this. Not the first home game of the season. Please rest. I feel like I tweeted this, but if you were to pull up the pitch in the Emirates right now, there has to be an ancient burial ground underneath that pitch, because it's just ridiculous the amount of injuries that we have every year. But as much as I hate injuries, I feel like this was the perfect game for it, not just because of the opposition we were playing, but also it's because this showcased why we have a squad, why we built a squad. Like, the people who came on were more than adequate, more than, square peg in a round hole, you could just fit him there. It was less Mikel Moreno at center forward and more Ethan Wary. He looks good. Like, that's who I want to see. That's who I want to see coming on for Odegaard. And I
I'll,
was okay with that. Not okay with Odegaard getting injured, but okay with the players that we had on the bench available to us to come on.
yeah, I'll just make a quick point here. When we won the league in 01-02, right? Perez did his ACL, so it was done. He still picked up the Players Player of the Year award anyway, of course, because he's
Shout out,
goated.
Bobby.
But we just simply moved Ljungberg to the left, and we just rotated with Wiltord and Parlo on the right. That's what you call incredible depth, and I feel like we're approaching that. Like we genuinely are. Like the fact that we can just say, okay, do you know what? Our captain, our chief creator's gone off, and then we bring on this 18-year-old madman who's maturing, by the way, like maturing very, very much. He wasn't, overzealous today. He very much, played in a very mature manner and a controlled manner. And, we scored like 3 goals after that, So it's looking good. The squad depth that Gabby mentioned, I can't complain, man. I actually can't complain.
This is skipping ahead a little bit, but I think I want to keep the depressing parts of this game just all in one spot. Saka comes off injured later in the game. We talked about the depth. The fact that we're able to bring on, or just switch Donny Madueke over to the right, his natural side, and bring Ethan Nwaneri on for Odegaard is very encouraging. Like, we're not in a place where we're going to have to, like, throw a bunch of U21s on the bench who are never going to fucking touch the field. Like, that's a very, very good spot for our squad to be in, and Eze wasn't even on the pitch today. What do we make of the Saka injury, though? Because that one maybe is a little more concerning, but if I want to put the spin on it, we were already up like 2 or 3-0, and it was very easy to just be like, you're feeling something? Cool, we're just going to pull you out immediately.
So for me, do you want to go first, Coach?
He's muted again.
Yeah. That's a quick point, so you can finish off. Saka injured the right hamstring today. That's what it looked like. So no, I don't actually. I've only got 2 choices here clearly, and I got it wrong. But he injured the other one. He injured the other hamstring. So if we're going to look for a positive, it's the fact that it's not a recurring injury at least. But it just didn't look good. It really, the look on his face said it all. Like it was just, it gave me Palace flashbacks all over again. Like it doesn't look good, to be honest. And Arteta confirmed as well as the other hamstring, and he said, himself, it's not looking good. So
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Mikel's quote on it was not looking good. He just said like he hasn't spoke to the doctor yet, but for him to come off, it's significant because he knows Saka will play on a little bit. Like there's a lot of our players, a lot more than I like, who play through injuries. Ben White, Timber, Saka, Declan Rice, Odegaard. A lot of them play through injuries, and I feel like it all came back to bite us in the ass last season, I should say. But for him to like Coach said, for him to have injured the other one, at least it's not a recurring thing. I think it's just, you're not as fit as you would like, and you tweak something early. It sucks because we have a hard start to the season. There's just no other way to say it. It's just difficult. We have Anfield as the next game, but it just is what it is. I think him going down on his own, not even just like it was a challenge or a tackle or something like that, I was like, yeah, he's gonna come off.
Yeah, it's definitely disappointing, especially with Anfield next week. But again, it's next man up. Donny Madueke's looked good. We're in a way better spot with the squad than we were last year because, guys, how good does it look for Donny Madueke to come in for Saka when he's injured, as opposed to someone like Raheem Sterling, who was our guy next man up last year? Kind of
and
a world of difference.
The crimes you will pay for.
Kind of a world of difference. But we're going to leave the depressing corner now and get to the goals. Arsenal got the scoring started the only way they know how. Set piece FC, baby. Jurrien Timber with a beautiful little header into the top right corner. Coach, what'd you make of that goal?
Yeah, he's building a habit for it. He scored against United as well. Yeah, I think it's really cool that everyone's recognized that Gabriel is the real danger, and he put all the efforts into trying to stop it. It's like, well, we still got Jurrien Timber there. We still have Saliba there. You know what I mean? Like, we still have Gyokeres there. So stop Gabriel if you like. It doesn't really matter. So that was my takeaway from it.
Yeah, they put 2 men on Gabriel. They put 2 men on Gabriel.
As they should, as they deserved, warranted.
That's actually so funny to me. But yeah, I love that we have this tool in our toolkit now. I love that it's really reliable because it wasn't as reliable last season. It was waning last season, but I also just love the fact that teams are shaking in their boots when we get a corner. Like, I think that's actually hilarious. They're stressed.
I think it's always funny. What I love about being in Emirates when we get a corner is that you can literally hear the opposition away fans sink back into their seats, and like us, the expectation is like it's pretty much like a penalty. Like it's the funniest like dynamic I've seen in Emirates. Honestly, it's great, man.
Yeah, there was a moment later in the game. I don't remember exactly when. We don't have it in our notes, but there was a ball going towards a corner, and a Leeds player sprinted back on it to like.
Oh, I remember that.
Like he was making a goal line
to
save.
clear it.
Like
Yeah.
like it's truly like life or death for these teams now, and that's really funny. It's such a like we get so much flack for it, but it's such an awesome weapon to have in your arsenal, and how we can score goals. And it was a lovely flick by Jurrien Timber to put us up 1-0. Just over 10 minutes later, Bukayo Saka opens his account for the season with a goal that was very, very similar to his goal against Leeds last time they were in the Premier League. Just right foot, top of the goal. I know you love a finish like that, Coach.
Yeah, I think it's my favorite sort of finish because it kind of just dares the goalkeeper to get in front of it. I dare you, and you end up in hospital. You know, like so it's the best type of finish as well. And I really just enjoy the fact that it was Arsene Wenger that told him he needs to start using his right foot more. And since then, he hasn't stopped. Like, you know, it's a great goal. And more, the most pleasing thing about it is the fact that forward runs. You know, me and Gabby had a lot of back and forth last year about creativity. I was like, the simple fact is our attackers aren't making the forward runs. Forward runs make shit happen. They make shit shake. You know, you have to make a decision. Are you going to step up or are you going to track the runner? But you have to make the decision. And we weren't doing that enough last season. And Saka got the ball because he made that forward run. Like, he was already on the... I think when it was... Zimmermani made the initial tackle, or was it Rice? I think Rice made the initial tackle, then Zimmermani cleaned up and got it to Timber. And as Timber's getting the ball, Saka's already on his back. He's gone. And those things, those split seconds are the difference between you making it 1-0 and 2-0. And the fact he did, like, I think it's been mandated by Arteta that Saka, I know you're our best player, arguably our chief creator and stuff like that, but you also need to get on the end of things a lot more. So again, Saka making forward runs means that Madueke, Martinelli, you have no excuse to make forward runs because you're not as talented as him, basically. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It was and it was a great pass by Timber to be able to find him, which makes his account for this game a goal and an assist that he would further add to later. I love that goal from Saka. I love the timing of it. I think there was moments of the half where Gabby said we looked a little bit more like our last season selves, but I think by the end of it we were kind of a little bit more free flowing. And I just want to talk for a second about Saka, because obviously there's an asterisk on this with his potential injury, but I personally have very, very high expectations for him in the league this year. Like, I think he needs to hit 20 Premier League goals, granted, if he stays fit. Like, if he misses a large amount of time again, then I think there's easy ways to put some adjustment on that. But that's a fair expectation, would you guys say?
I mean, absolutely. We saw the way he started last season. He came out on a heater last season, and unfortunately, like, we fell apart and the whole damn team got injured. But it was just like, oh, this is the season where he's going to break out. Like, we were talking crazy last season. I can't lie. We were talking about how he might break Thierry Henry's record because that's how fast he started last season. And no one's broken that record. I have very high expectations of him this season, especially with the pieces that we have added, because we talked a lot about how the creativity burden was all on Odegaard and on him to create anything and everything. And I feel like if you put a portion of that burden on an Eze, on a Madueke, on a whoever else, that leaves him open to actually score goals, which is what I want him to do more of.
If we're talking about him, you know, reaching the upper that you know the upper tier of elite and whatever else, you know, the likes of, you know, Salah, basically, it's the goals. Because everything else is there already. Maybe free kicks, I suppose, but that's whatever. Not everyone can do that. But it's literally just goals, and it's goals. A lot of your goals aren't going to be when you're beating one or two guys and then putting in the top corner. A lot of them are going to be one-touch finishes because somebody else has done all the hard work for you. So understanding that and adapting to it. I think Saka was getting there last season, and then all of a sudden, like, it stopped. I mean, you look at his last goal in the league, I think against Fulham, it was a back post header from a Martinelli like flick on, and then you look at the goal I think he scored against Southampton. I think somebody pressed and he just ran onto it, a one-touch finish again. A lot of Saka's goals prior to that was him basically being triple teamed and him finding his way out and still scoring. So yeah, the goals for me is where 20 goals I think is still fair. If he's only out for like a month, let's say a month, 6 weeks, because of how good he is, I think 20 goals are still reachable personally. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it all depends on the timetable, the type of injury. I think last season he came back from an injury, had the goal in his first game back, and then was kind of slow from there on out. I think he was still kind of recovering from it. And, hopefully it's not too serious. Same with Odegaard. But let's move on to the second half. Quickly into the second half, we got the big man, Viktor Gyokeres, opening his Arsenal account. Calafiori playing a very, very nice ball in behind, and then Gyokeres doing the rest himself with a nice little trademark finish. Gabby, how are you feeling?
I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic. I'm going to be talking shit. I can't lie. Because there's a lot of people who are rooting on my boy to fail. Fuck you. Like, listen, and I'm looking at you, coach. I'm looking at you. All right? There's a lot of people
I wasn't
who are
rooting for him. I was not rooting for him to fail. Like, let's be clear here. Having reservations is not the same. Making hashtags like you were,
Listen. There was a lot of people on Twitter for sure. Nobody on this pod was rooting for him to fail, but there was half of our pod who definitely had reservations. I never had reservations about Gyokeres. I just feel like he's a bagsman. It's so obvious he's a bagsman, and we haven't had a bagsman since, as much as I love Kai, we haven't had a bagsman since Aubameyang, genuinely. And that was like 5-ish years ago. Like, it's just so clear to me that we need to give him time and space to actually adapt to our system, adapt to his team. They need to create chemistry with the players around him. But Calafiori, this is why you were important. This is why I needed you to stay fit last season. Because him being in the middle of the pitch, asking for the ball to feet because he had already scanned the field and knew where he was and wanted to play that one time. Exactly. That's what Gyokeres wants to do. He wants to run into space and run at his man. And I love that because I feel like we don't do that enough. And we tend to talk about that with our wingers, wingers constantly running out of man, but it's not just our wingers. We wanted to play more vertically, which we have been trying to do for the last 2 games, our first game of the season and against Man United, which also didn't come off as well as we wanted it to, but that's a whole completely different game. And also the game before that against Bilbao. We want to play vertically. That's what he wants to play like. And I think it gives the team a whole different dynamic because I like the way that we play with Kai and it's enjoyable to watch sometimes. Sometimes we can get in the horseshoe of death. But I feel like sometimes when we play like this, yes, it's more risk, but it's more reward too. It just one time over the top, run into the channel, sprint at your man, cut inside, shoot, goal. Easy.
Absolutely. Very, very nice. And I think it was really nice as a fan to watch him get that goal, especially like early in his Arsenal career. It's only his second career game. People are acting like he's played 40 games already for Arsenal and he hasn't scored.
What that is though?
People have no patience, man.
It's expectation. What's funny is the Sky Sports podcast. They're a bunch of idiots anyway. But like they were just like, yeah, like a lot of pressure that that's coming, especially obviously the fact that you didn't score last week. I was like, yeah, the season just started last week at Old Trafford, a place that we've won at 6 times in 30 years.
Demon Stadium.
Like so. And
we came out with 3 points, by the way. Exactly. No one likes to talk about that, but all right.
When the media are already pushing the narrative that you're under pressure after 2 games, right? I was really pleased for him, like, because to me as well, it felt as if that he was only like that chance he had where we pressed and we won it. It felt like he was already in his own head. Like I have to score, and it felt like that goal that he did score. he took his time and he played to his own strengths. He wasn't trying to do anything that he's not good at. So, honestly speaking, I hope that all my reservations can essentially go to hell. That's what I really hope for, because as long as we play quick and we play into the channels, I do think with more fitness, he should score a lot of goals, and a lot of them, ironically, won't actually look like that. There'll be a lot more. He's already in the box waiting for the one tap finish because he's lethal. So that's what I'm hoping for. Let's adapt to him. Let's try to adapt more of our play to him. I'm hoping for.
I mean, speaking more to his like mentality, that people were talking about how he celebrated in a way that he felt like he was on a scoring drought, and I was like, he is. For him, he is. He talks all the time about how he is upset when he doesn't score in a game, and he did not score in the last game. Even though he scored the game before that, that means nothing. You wipe that out. You wipe that away. He wants to score every game, at least once. And I think that is what you need from a striker. You need that arrogance. You need that I should be scoring every game. And I want you to be upset when you don't do it, because it'll push you. I know that the media will give you expectations and, you know, fans and all that stuff, but like, it's more about what you expect from yourself. And I feel like if you expect that from yourself, that's what I want to see. Not to harp on Jesus, but like, I don't want to hear my striker saying like goals are not my best attribute. Like, I'm not a goal scorer. I don't want to hear that you saying that. Sorry. Like, I want you to be upset when you don't score. Like, he was ready. He wanted that.
Yeah, 100%. And we talked about it a little bit on the preseason podcast, but that celebration is great.
It's gonna do numbers.
It's just cool. Like, having like a trademark celebration like that it's just like cuts to the crowd. They're all doing it. It's fucking awesome. The vibes are good. And another thing I gotta say, our top, like, we finished second in the league last year. Our top scorer was Kai Havertz with 11 goals. That's not good enough to win a title. I think we have multiple guys who can score 15 plus, 20 plus. And that's how you win a title. I think Arsenal is a team that, just philosophy-wise, wants to spread the wealth, wants to have a lot of... We're not going to have someone like Haaland scoring like 40% of our goals. But we need someone to take on a lot of that burden and score like 20 plus Premier League goals if we want to get us over the top. And Gyokeres 100% has the mindset to do that. Saka has the mindset to do that. And they've all got the ability to do that.
Yeah, and one more thing about Gyokeres before I get off my soapbox. People were talking about he's a flat track bully. That's what I want. Be a flat track bully. I don't want to be dropping points to West Ham and those lot. All right?
It's true.
Slap them up. I want to brace in every game the people who are not in the top six. We're fine in the top six. We can share the goals in the top six.
We haven't lost a Big Six game in years.
Exactly.
It's the fucking draws against the West Hams and Wolves of the world.
Brightons
that are
and
like,
all that. Yeah. Slap those people up.
Yeah, I do think though, Gyokeres, while we like to spread the wealth, I do think a change in our philosophy will mean that there's nothing wrong. I've always maintained that if your forwards are scoring the goals, then you've got a good attack, basically. Regardless of how it happens, if it's pretty or not, doesn't matter. If your forwards are scoring the majority of your goals, you've got a very, very good attack. Because what are teams trying to stop you from doing? Getting the ball to your good players. And your good players usually are in attack. So if they're the ones scoring the goals, I have no issue with it. Let Gyokeres score 80% of our goals this year. If he does, couldn't care less. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to have players that are all title winning teams, good teams, have the one player that they rely on for goals. Doesn't mean nobody else can contribute, but Gyokeres, whoever it is, Gyokeres, Havertz, whoever, just score a fuck ton. That's all I'm asking for. Just score a fuck ton. That's it. You know, it sounds easier said than done, I know, but we've got the providers now. I keep saying we generally do. So put the ball in the back of the net and we'll see where we go. For me, I want to open it up to you guys. For me, I think I said to a couple of my guys in group chats, whatever, I said that I would personally take a 20-goal season from Gyokeres. But seeing today, I have to adjust my expectations. I think 25 goals in
all comps or just in the league?
No, 25 goals in all comps. Let me finish. 25 goals in all comps. But I'm gonna go for around 18 in the league. 18 in the league is a lot, by the way. 18 in the league is a lot. In your first season as well, I'm going to go for that basically. I'm gonna say that's your expectation for me. 16 to go, Victor. Like you got 16 to go, and then anything else after that is a bonus. But your baseline for me this season, 18 league goals, and we'll go from there.
That's my expectation as well. I can't lie. I've already said it. Like, I say all the time that Kai Havertz will give you 20 goals at least all comps, because he's gonna give you about 12 to 15 goals in the league every time. That's his niche. But like Gyokeres, I fully expect you to get more than that. I expect you to get around 20. So 18 to 20, that's where we're aiming at, especially if you're taking pens. And if we plan on playing more, not just vertically, but if we plan on playing more centrally, which we look like we're doing, I expect us to get more pens too.
So, Viktor Gyokeres, we know you're listening to this podcast. We know you're a big fan. The expectation's been set on your favorite podcast. You know it. We're going to move on now to another Arsenal goal. This is after Manueke had moved to the right, had some interchange with Nwaneri that wins a corner, and then just as beautiful of a corner goal, I must say, Timber gets his second. Equally as good and not at all scrappy. Right, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, Saliba's nipple, getting an assist after scoring off his arse last season. I think the guy might be our biggest goal threat. You don't know how he's gonna score. You don't know how he's gonna contribute. You just know he will.
Neither does he.
and that's the beauty of it. If I don't have a plan, then now they're my enemies.
He's gonna be a big boy in the box, and something's gonna happen.
Never let him know your next move, man.
Exactly. So I think the key thing here is obviously the delivery, though. Let's be honest. The delivery is demonic. Like, it's absolute. Like, Declan Rice and Saka,
Demon.
Honestly, I expect 10 assists from Declan Rice just on corners.
They're putting bombs in the box, guys.
Crazy.
Actual nukes in the box. It's the panic it causes is the most hilarious. You can see the white of everyone's eyes. Like, they just panic.
These goalkeepers are like the tallest people on the field, and they get to use their hands, and they're still shitting themselves on these in-swingers that are being put just on their fucking heads. It's fucking awesome. Declan Rice, you are a goddamn demon. And so very, very scrappy goal by Timber. That was great. Then we had a big group of subs after our first two injury subs. And this is the fun ones, guys, because these are the ones that we got to just make because we wanted to, because we're already up by a lot of goals. Mosquera makes his debut. Miles Lewis-Skelly. And last, but certainly not fucking least, the fucking child comes on, Max Dalman.
Listen, I go.
Who is 15 fucking years old.
Oh.
We've talked about him on this podcast, and I can't get over that he is 15 years old and looks this good. They came on for Calafiori, Madueke, and Timber, all of which had wonderful performances. I think the easy one to pull from these three that came on is Dalman, which is why we're not going to talk about him right now. Coach, what did you think about Mosquera?
Yeah, he's accomplished. I think he's going to be a very underrated signing for us. But for our fallen soldier Tomiyasu, this is the value. This is the value of having a squad. Thank you.
Listen, I can't lie. I cried over him this morning. Yeah. I was emotional. I was like, I'm thinking about Tommy. I'm like,
honestly. But this is the value of having a versatile depth option. Like, Mosquera is going to play left centre back a lot as well. By the way, just so we know, as well as right centre back, but obviously right back. That was Tomiyasu's spot. And one of the reasons why White is managing his fitness now is because Tomiyasu simply just couldn't come in to take more minutes off him. So Mosquera, I am so glad you're here. And I think the most exciting thing and impressive thing about him is his recovery pace. The guy is a gazelle. Like, once he gets up and running, seriously, it is like in the preseason game against Villarreal. Honestly speaking, I couldn't believe how quick he is. Really fucking fast, guys.
Yeah,
seriously.
To be fair, his legs are long too.
he looks like a big motherfucker. Like, I don't even know how tall he is, but like, he looks like the biggest person on the pitch, and that might not be the case, but he just looks fucking massive. Gabby, Lewis-Skelly came on, and Nwaneri also came on in this game. I think that we have to just kind of keep reminding ourselves, either Nwaneri and Miles Lewis-Skelly are 18 years old. We need to like have perspective, because obviously Dalman's on the scene now, and it's like, oh no, these guys are just like full squad members. These guys are children too. They should also like age-wise be playing in the U21s. And I think it just like speaks to like how good they are. And it's the same thing for Saka when he broke into the team, of just like how effortlessly this looks for these two 18-year-olds who should still be the children of the team, but they are somehow not. What did you think of Miles Lewis-Skelly today? I think he brings something totally different from Calafiori, and they're so good. So I want them both to stay healthy so much, so we can just like have these options.
To be fair, I feel like this is the spirit of Jack Wilshere. Like, it's just, it'll just never die. For Miles, I actually really love this sub. I like that they're being proactive with Calafiori's injury woes. Him coming on, because he came on in the first game against the Man United for him too. And I don't think he was having that much of a bad game. And he wasn't like struggling with fitness or anything like that, like on the pitch. At least he didn't look like he picked up a knock or anything like that. They were just preemptive, just 70th minute. It felt like very much Arsene Wenger, 70th minute, you're coming off for this person, this is just the pre-made subs, that's what we're doing. And I also don't want us to get too carried away with Miles. I don't think he should be playing every single game basically like he played last year. I like that they're sharing time. I also think that they have different attributes. We know how important Calafiori is to the team, and at least I do. I know how important Miles is to the team too. He gives us a completely different dynamic. I don't want to get too carried away and playing all the time, but he's going to play a lot of games. He's going to play a lot of games. I mean, if we go far in competitions, we might be playing like 60, 70 games this year. So everybody's going to be playing a lot of games. I'm fine with it. For Ethan, I love Ethan. Like I want to see him all the time. I know we are all complaining about last year how we wanted to see him when Odegaard was injured, and Mikel was like, no. But I think it's just a natural progression, especially the I can't remember who said it in the summer. It might have been Gunner Blog, but they were putting out the press clippings about how they're thinking about Ethan more internally, like in the midfield, rather than out on the wing as a backup to Saka.
It's what he said. It's what he said himself, that he sees himself as a midfielder as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I like that he's actually getting to play in his position. I want him to get some reps there and actually be comfortable and create chemistry with those players so we can plug and play.
Yeah, for sure. I thought it was a really mature performance from Ethan. Just kind of ran the game at the end of it, of just like, all right, we're up 4-0, we're in cruise control, and I think he just kept facilitating it. And as a byproduct to us being cruise control, it meant it was the one guy who wasn't in cruise control's show. It was Max Dalman's show. It was anyone who got the ball were looking for Max at every fucking opportunity. There is a moment in particular that stood out to me of Trossard getting the ball, nutmegging someone, and then hitting just a cross-field pass to his feet where he just like runs towards the box. He had multiple shots from outside the box. I love the audaciousness from this kid. Like, he's just... I played soccer at 15, and like I was like nervous. I was nervous before like JV high school games, let alone like of playing fucking 30 minutes. He played 30 minutes. Like, Ethan played at 15 for like 2 minutes, touched the ball once. Like, Dalman played for 30 fucking minutes, and his teammates were like, "Get this motherfucker the ball." What the fuck is happening, coach?
I'll put it bluntly, he is whooping their arse in training. That's what's happening. He is seriously whooping them boys, like, for real. I think there's Arteta is very much a man of honor, and he believes in hierarchy and stuff. But he's not stupid. When you've got a talent like that, fuck all the honor and shit. Like, let me get this boy playing, because he's gonna retire all of us, basically. So it makes sense. Like, it makes sense. Obviously, you want to give minutes to players that have been there long, and the internationals as well and stuff like that. You get all of that. But at the end of the day, when you got a talent like that, you have to respect the talent. You have to. And I don't like this idea that Arteta never liked Thingy, and because of Chido and Aiden Heaven, that's why he's more conscious. It's not that. It's not that. Look at the boys that he's playing, guys. These are flipping. These are mini warheads themselves. Like, they can't be denied. Seriously, look at Wanyeri, 9 goals last year, and he's got he's got a rocket in his boot. Then you've got Miles Lewis-Skelly, who is a central midfielder by trade, and because of they knew that getting minutes for him in midfield would have been difficult, they started playing him at left back before he made his debut, basically to prep him for where he's going to be. And we all sat here at the beginning of last season, in preseason, and we all discussed him. I was like, guys, he's going to play left back because there's no other space for him in this team, and he's killed it. Like, being that sure of someone that wasn't even 18 at that time speaks to their talent. And then you look at Max Dowman. Max Dowman has been on the radar, and I mean this in the most non-Jimmy Savile, like nonsense way, but he's been on the radar from everyone, from when he was about, to my mind, from about 13 years old. Seriously, like, he's been that good whooping ass for everybody.
Child labor laws need to be stricter.
Yeah. I'll tell you guys a funny story. I was on the plane to New York last year, and I was sitting next to somebody that used to work with my brother, right? But this guy's a scout, right? We just randomly bumped into each other. Like, it was like, okay, he's gone on holiday with his family, and we sat there. I'm no joke. We sat there for 30 minutes talking about Max Dowman. He was like, I've been to God knows how many games this year, kind of thing, and all the coaches are talking about Max Dowman. All the scouts are talking about Max Dowman. This was last year, guys. They're all talking about him, and he was 14 at the time. He's absolutely mental. Honestly, like, I've got no words for him. Honestly,
I just feel like he's the epitome of, if you're good enough, you're old enough. Like that, it's just play him. I mean, I just feel like he has to feel, Mikel and him and his family and all the coaches who watched him before, they have to feel a little bit vindicated that he came on and won that pen. I know I'm jumping ahead, but him coming on and winning that pen, even before that, when he hit that volley, I know he sliced across it and it didn't go in, but I was looking at it like, is he gonna, like, I was gonna say, if he scores that, the Emirates might blow up. It might implode.
100%.
Oh my God. That kid was just doing whatever. He didn't give a damn. Like, he was playing with grown men and making them look silly, for real. And I was just like, yeah, this kid's got the thing. He's got the thing.
I really want to, like, at our first preseason pod, when we were talking about this, I wanted to temper expectations about Max Dowman because he's a fucking child. But if I'm that left back who just got continually skinned, I think I'm retiring. Like, he's 15.
I don't know what they're feeding these kids, man. I don't know what they're feeding these kids.
Actually insane. And then for the third time in his third appearance with Arsenal, including preseason, wins another fucking penalty.
Technically, it's 120 minutes. That means, by my maths, he's winning a penalty every 40 minutes.
It's absurd. It's absurd. It's stupid.
Crazy.
He's a child. Like, he's just gonna bypass the U21s. Like, what the fuck, guys? Anyway, we get to the penalty. And as a huge proponent of the anti-woke run-up movement, I love Viktor Gyokeres' penalty run-up of just fucking going for it, nailing it bottom corner, and then going and doing his hair in the camera. I fucking love it.
Oh man, lovely.
Gabby, how'd you feel about the second of two Viktor Gyokeres goals?
I was gassed because, one, I predicted that he would get a brace, number one. I just knew he was going to do that. And two, I was like, before the season even started, I was like, we're getting Bukayo Saka off of pens. Sorry. I know for a fact that Viktor Gyokeres is going to take these pens. One, he's our striker. He should be taking them. And two, he's going to be our best penalty taker. And that's just a fact. The way that he locked his ankle and slammed that ball into the net, I said, that's exactly what I want you to do. That is exactly what I want you to do. None of this stutter step, like tiki-taka nonsense. Hit the ball. Like, strike through the ball. Pace and power.
Can I just say as well? I think it's an underrated quality, but he's right-footed. Like, maybe it's just me. I don't like left-footed penalty takers. I've said it 100 times in this podcast, but all penalty takers should be right-footed. Left foot just feels wrong. It's just bad. It makes me nervous. That's what it is. You're left-footed, I feel like you're gonna miss. Like, my brain can't process. I'm sorry. Okay, Messi a good penalty taker, guys? He's missed as many penalties as he scored goals, guys. Yeah. So I'm just being clear here. Like, no, just right footers should take penalties, and that should be the end of it. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I just want our penalty taker to be as certain as Harry Kane was before he took that one for England. Sorry. I mean, you in the Premier League, it was a certainty he was going to score that pen whenever he got it. You know it was going into the back of the net. And I want Gyokeres to be like that. Don't give us a pen because you already know he's going to score it.
And then I will say that Gyokeres doing his hair into the camera it's very funny to dunk on people like that, but also I don't really like my striker being rattled by like faceless people on Twitter. I don't like that like people talking about you touching your hair on Twitter is gonna get you rattling back at them. If it was Jamie Carragher or something doing that, like fair enough.
To be fair, I feel like Roy Keane also said it. Somebody else also said it, and I was like, you know what? Fair enough.
If an actual like pundit, like real adult said it, who's not like a 15-year-old with like João Felix as his profile picture, like it was chirping you, like that's fine. Then I like it.
We do have a few people who are chronically online though.
like Kai would do that because of like CFC Gene T or something or whatever that fucking guy's name is.
to be fair, guys, the presenter did actually ask Gyokeres about it. Literally, he said he literally said, somebody said that you had more touches of your hair at Old Trafford than you did touch the ball, kind of thing. So was your celebration about that? And Gyokeres paused for a second and he's like, "Yeah, maybe it might have been about that." You know. So
okay, now I think it's funny. Now I think it's funny.
I love it. Cheeky. That's very cheeky. I love a little bit of bastard in my striker. All right.
Yeah, this guy's an asshole, and I love him. All right. Last thing before we get out of here. We got to talk about Zubimendi and Rice, because obviously didn't get on the score sheet, but they were wonderful today and so fucking good at counter-pressing. And I love how high up the pitch Zubimendi gets. It's very fun to see him like pop up where it's like, that's where Odegaard gets the ball. What the fuck are you doing here, man? Like, what's happening?
It makes it harder for teams to prepare, I think. Really, if all three of your midfielders are comfortable in all three phases, then obviously everyone's got their own strengths. Declan Rice is obviously, you know, the powerhouse that carries the ball, got a big switch of play in him and stuff like that, goal threat as well. But like, the one thing that everyone has in common is that they're all high energy and they're good at intercepting the ball, believe it or not, even Odegaard. So when Zubimendi does pick the ball up in a half space kind of thing, you already know he's intelligent enough to find the correct pass. But teams now will be looking at, okay, if the ball gets here with Arsenal, and it's with this player, what do we actually do? Because when it's Odegaard, we can prep for it. When it's Zubimendi, we can prep for it. When it's Rice, we can prep for it. But you'll never know who's going to be getting the ball in those situations, especially with the fluidity of the new double pivot. It's going to be really fucking hard to stop, seriously. And I think that's where Gabby mentioned, I think, our central progression. That's where we evolved. It wasn't really ever about, obviously it was about the forwards, and if we've got Gyokeres, who's going to stretch teams. But for me, the creativity for me always stemmed from how we rebalance, reconfigure the midfield. The forwards will make runs and they do the lion's share of helping with the creativity. But if you've got a full midfield who are all comfortable in attempting the final pass, then, you know, it's to me, it's party time, you know?
For sure. All right, we got Liverpool away next weekend. Famously easy one, guys. Gabby, how you feeling?
You know what? I'm feeling fine. I can't lie. I think it's this narrative that people started last season or the season before maybe about how you need to go to your I think it was just about Man City and not about rivals. But you need to go to your rivals like ground and win. When Pep and Klopp were going bar for bar, they were not doing that. Like, I don't know why that's a thing now. If you get a draw, fair enough. I don't care. You're expected to lose at your rival's ground.
Yep.
I don't care. I want to see a good performance. We're going to be a lot more open. They're not going to sit in a low block against us.
For sure.
So I would love to see that. But
yeah,
I'm feeling good.
I think, of course, we want to see a good performance. I mean, this was... I think today's game was a good example of how good we can be. After the United game, people are like, Arsenal look bad. And it's like, well, we played an away game at a tough away ground against a team that was tactically set up well.
Demon team.
And we won the game. Like, that's what matters. This is the game of, like, if we had looked bad, it would have been a problem. However, we didn't. We won 5-0. But I agree. If we play well and we get a draw, I'm happy next week. Obviously, context is important. Like, if we give up a 3-0 lead or something like that, like, that would suck. But, Coach, how you feeling going into Anfield?
Yeah, Anfield was just a funny ground. Like, there was a period of time where we went there, like, and I just wouldn't even. I would just be like, yeah, 3 points.
It was a
Arsenal.
guaranteed spanking, like, every
No,
time.
I'm talking. Okay. I'm showing my age here, but a bit before then. But like, I
Okay.
genuinely thought there was a point where I was like, okay, regardless of who's playing, kind of thing. Oh, Arsenal is playing. Okay, we'll win today, kind of thing. That's what it was. Well, like, okay, we've got Fabregas today. Oh, okay, do you know what? We should win him. We've got Perez today. Like, we should win. We went there one time and won with 10 men. We won 2-0 with 10 men, and we scored both goals after going down to 10 men. Like, so, and then I want to say the Brendan Rodgers / Klopp period, it was just hell. It was genuinely just hell for us. So I'm glad we stopped the rot in terms of losing there, but I want to win there. Just for the fact, just to say that, okay, we can win at Anfield, because it's been a minute. We haven't won there since 2012,
Yeah.
2011, 2012, 2013 season. Sorry, Cazorla scored.
Did we win that Debussy game? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Which Debussy?
Is that the game? The one where he like hurt his shoulder? Is that not the?
That was at home against Stoke. That was home against Stoke, where
Maybe I'm thinking the wrong thing.
yeah,
but I was like, I thought that was Anfield.
No, Arnautovic pushed him into the advertising hoardings and essentially gave Bellerini's Arsenal career. That's essentially what happened there. But yeah, 12-13 season, it's about time we win at Anfield. It is. And last year we beat Man City without Saka, and a out of sorts Odegaard. So yeah, let's do it. Let's win. Let's win there.
I mean, you're here to hear first, there, folks. As a hat trick, 3-0 Arsenal win. Looking forward to it. Guys, we had Eze announced for the Arsenal fans. Gyokeres scored a brace. Timber scored a brace. And a guy with braces made his debut. What a game. You guys know what to tell the people.
Peace.
Hey folks, this is Dean from the Shirtless Plantain Show. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and follow us on all our socials. You can see them right beneath our recordings in every video. Thanks again, and see you on the next one.